Okay, guys, give me just a second to post myself over. Usually I do this for other people, for other people's Facebook lives, but now I gotta do it for myself. So give me just like 2 seconds. Like pretend. Also, okay, I'll talk about it in a second. But this thing, I do not think this stuff. I found it on TikTok, and someone said, "Hey, do you not want to buy Olaplex number 3?" And yeah, I don't. It's expensive, so they said buy this weird thing, SER 100, and I did, and it came in the mail today. Give me just a second. I'm going to copy my link and paste it into the event. Post and then we'll jump in. 2, domain names like super, super, super basic. Like I really want to keep it basic because people say I get too complicated. Sounds like my relationships, right? I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. That's true. Okay. So it looks like we are good to go. If you guys have any questions, feel free to jump in. I'm going to teach the lesson, and then we're going to talk about the Cookie College just a little bit. And then if you have any of those questions that you asked, if it's about domain names or the Cookie College, I'll answer them at the end. But you know me, I might answer them as we go through this anyways. So you've been warned. But yeah, basically, I'm going to try to do, my word for 2022 is slow, of which I've not been able to be yet. But I'm thinking about it. It's there. Like the thought bubble is there. Like, Heather, stop talking so fast. Breathe. So maybe some of you can like type in the comment section, like slow down, I didn't hear you. That'd be great. But let's just dig in real quick. So I'm teaching this like I teach one of the Cookie College courses, right? So before I just did Intro to the Cookie College, which is great and all, but why not like add value? Because that's like my thing. Like, why not teach you guys something and then say, hey, the rest of this course is in the Cookie College, and this is very similar to how we break it down, so you can kind of see what these classes are broken down like, right? So in 2 seconds to kind of bring everything together. It's kind of hard being my own like DJ, because I've never had to do this as much. So I'm Heather. This is how all the classes are started. I teach more of the technical side. I do like being really organized. I like having all my ducks in a row. I like having workflows and stuff like that. It's very much like my happy place. So that's where I teach most of my classes. And then you have crazy Corrie. She likes to get in Facebook jail. But she's also more of the creative type. So she talks photography, and she talks about like upcoming DIY kits. She's giving away those free photos and stuff, which we'll talk about in a second. But you kind of get a little mix of both. So we have our factions now. People who are going through the college and saying like, hey, I'm in the domains course, or I'm in the Flowdesk, which is an email newsletter platform, and I have questions for Heather. And then some people are like, forget Heather. I just want the free stuff from Corrie. Little does everybody know, I'm planning like my own like overtake of Corrie's side. I'm going to be writing free copy for people, so brace yourself. Oh, Corrie's listening. Great, watch yourself. That's what's coming. And then you have like Corrie does like bake-alongs and stuff like that. Hey Heather, great name. We know whose side you're on because we have the same name. But Corrie, if she's in the comment section, if you have any questions about kind of what she offers, but Photography 101, she does these bake-alongs where she kind of teaches people, I'm not the baking twin. She dragon eyes with ice and malt. I only know it because I had to set it up, but like it's not me. And then she did a package review for BRP. I know she's talking to Miss Cookie Countess for reviewing their packaging stuff, and then like teach you guys how to do like wax melt packaging, that kind of stuff. So that's more Corrie's side. Me is like, hey, let's get our website, our Google Calendar, our Google My Business, our Google workspace all set up and configured. Okay, great. That is that. Frank says, love it, Frank. And Juan, hello guys. Thank you so much for attending. Corrie's photography course is Chef's Kiss, says Jackie. It is really good. I'd like to take a little bit of credit for running the camera. But no, Corrie did a great job. Amanda said, I'm starting to use Asana because you mentioned it on the podcast. Again, Asana, that's what I love. The less work, the less that has to sit in my brain, the more easily I can go to bed, right? So the less that's here, the better. Okay, so I'm going to move my little circle around. Ooh. What is a domain name? It is super confusing, and I see a lot in the group is somebody's like, I have a website, but what they're referring to is a domain name. Or they say, I have a domain name, and what they're referring to is a website. That confusion is expected because it is confusing. But I like to tell people this. Think of a domain name like a house and a front door. So, okay, so if our house was our website, our domain name, the domain name would be the front door. So I'm going to type something here in a command prompt. I'm going to pull it over for you guys to see. So this is a command prompt on my computer, ping sugarcookiemarketing.com. Oh yeah. Okay. Every website, and I know this looks complicated, it's not. Every website actually has an IP address, which is actually the front door. But 35.196.104.31 is Sugar Cookie Marketing. That's not ideal for me to tell you to go to my website to make a purchase. So we have our website, which has a shoddy front door. What we want to do is put on a pretty front door, and that is our domain name, right? Goodbye, little command prompt. So when you log into a website, so if you went right now, if you're in front of a computer and you're on your phone, not if you're on your phone, because I think I get booted, go to sugarcookiemarketing.com. You're landed on a pretty website. I think I've got to redo a few things on it, but it's a very attractive website. That's the website. Sugarcookiemarketing.com, what you typed in was the front door. That was the domain name I purchased, right? But yeah, essentially all websites have IP addresses, and that's ugly. And when we're working in marketing, we want to make it pretty, we want to make it easy. I want to be able to say, don't go to 1.35. I want to go to sugarcookiemarketing.com and make that purchase. Corrie said, I swear I didn't sign up for a math class. Twin 2, you should do your own class. Look at my pretty pictures. Scooching myself over again. So why purchase a domain name? Not all the times. Okay, I'll be honest. It makes sense 100% of the time for me. From where I come from a branding perspective, 100% of the time, purchasing a domain name makes sense. Even if you use, My Custom Bakes and Cast Iron don't allow you to use a custom domain name, but you still can. That's why I say 100% of the time, I recommend going today, following us along in this course, and making the purchase of your domain name, because it is a front door to your website, even if the website doesn't allow, or if you're using Wix free, or like a free Wix site or a free Square site, we can still purchase a domain name today and use it to direct people to our website, which a lot of people don't realize, but it is a really fantastic way of directing traffic. So if you guys have, Frank says Heather is my favorite twin.com. I need to reserve that one immediately and forward it to sugarcookiemarketing.com. But that's the thing. We can put doors on websites we don't even own, which I think is like kind of mind blowing for people. If you type in sugarcookiemarketinggroup.com, guess where it takes you? The Facebook group. I don't own Facebook, but I can still put a front door on a house I don't own. So being able to direct traffic, if you go to www.there'sapodcast.com, guess where it takes you? To the podcast link. So it's much easier for me to market when I have these different avenues that I can put these front doors on. So yes, domain names are great for your own website, but they're also great for traffic direction and every other aspect of it. I have a problem with, no, Heather said this is way over my head. No, it's what I'm saying is we can all buy the front door today, and it costs about $6 if you follow along. So that's my big takeaway, is this is easier than you think. My grandma, if I told her to go to Amazon, Amazon's IP address is that outrageous number. Not ideal, but Amazon.com is ideal. That's all we're covering today. And I said I was only going to take 15 minutes for this, so let me scooch along. Scooch. Okay, so domain name registrars. Whoop. Where can you purchase a domain name? There is no end in options. A lot of you guys use Google domains. I love Namecheap for that last part of the name. It's cheap. It is the most affordable option. I really like them. I've been using them for years. That's what we'll use in today's example. If I could encourage you to use them as well, I would, because a lot of what the Cookie College is taught in is Namecheap, because that's what I use and it's what I also recommend. Jackie said she got her domain name today, which is awesome, Jackie. Congratulations. That is a great step forward. Even if you don't do anything today or 24 months from now, the fact that you have it is a great job. And it's, $6 a year. $6 a year through Namecheap. GoDaddy is $11.99 for the first year. So I want to just say that these prices are for first year. They're much higher the second year. By much, I mean Namecheap renews at $13 versus the $6. And I think Google might retain that $12 a month. GoDaddy gets a little expensive, and that's why I have a little bit of a bone to pick with GoDaddy. They kind of nickel and dime their own clients. Not my vibe. And then Wix. So I wanted to throw Wix in there. I don't like Wix as a website platform. It's not my favorite. It's not bad at all. But it's also a domain name registrar, and it's expensive. So something to keep in mind there if we're trying to be cost effective is to maybe perhaps check at the domain price and the renewal price a year from now. So you pay for your domain name for 1 year. You can never get it less, but you can pay a reservation fee for up to 10 years. Okay, that used to be an alleged SEO factor. It is no longer, so I just do 1 year at a time and then renew myself. Frank said stay away from GoDaddy. As much as that sounds horrifying, I have to agree with him. It is just not ideal for websites. It is expensive. It is very hard to get a hold of support, and we're going to talk about that in just a second of why you should pick your registrar. So when I use a keyword registrar, domain registrar, that's who you're purchasing from. And it gets a little confusing, but no sweat. I just want to explain why it gets a little confusing for everybody. Domain name hosts and website hosts. They can be the same company, but they can also be two different companies. That's why I see people so frustrated, because I'm saying like, hey, where's your website hosted? I don't know, I bought the domain through. Okay, that isn't the website host. So the website host could be over here, and then your registrar could be over here, but in the same vein, they could also be the same company. So Google can host your website. It can also sell you the domain name. GoDaddy can do the same, Wix can do the same, Squarespace can do the same, or Square can do the same, and Namecheap can do the same. There's no end in places that you can purchase the domain name, right? And then host your website. Now, what I do is I purchase the domain name through Namecheap, but I prefer not to host with them, right? So I'll purchase the domain name and then I'll host with somebody else. So I'm using the two different companies. So when you hear us in Sugar Cookie Marketing say, where is a website hosted? I'm not asking where you purchased the domain. I'm asking where the website, the house lives that the front door is connected to. Now, if I ask you if I recommend purchasing your domain, I'm saying front door purchase would be over here. So as much as I love Namecheap and I recommend it so highly, I do not recommend it as a website host. That's confusing, but I'm here to just dispel the rumors that you can have the same company do the same thing, or you can have two companies being a house and a front door. Frank is throwing some wild cards at you guys. He's not wrong. He said generally not ideal to use the same registrar and host. I do agree that's putting all your eggs in a basket. I agree that you should be very protective of your domain. I wouldn't get into the proverbial, maybe it's because I shouldn't say this, the domain name bed with somebody you didn't trust. So the only wrong place to purchase a domain name is from a very small company. If you haven't heard of them, if you haven't heard of them recommended in Sugar Cookie Marketing, I'd say, hey, stay away. Purchase it through somebody else. So I'm going to pull over a tab here real fast. Corrie is making fun of me, which is fine. I was trying to be slower. And she making fun of me is letting me be slow. Frank says name silo. I've not used them, but if they're hard to use, that's something I would say is just think about what you're paying for. Why these registrars have such different pricing is because you're paying for the support service behind them. So Namecheap is cheaper, I'll agree, but I do like their support. GoDaddy is more expensive, and I don't like their support, so it's not somebody I recommend. Google Domains, Frank would probably know what I'm talking about here. I wouldn't want to run SEO on a website that Google owned. I would want Google to have a little bit of a partition between what I'm doing and what they're doing. Yeah, a little bit complex, but we're not going to go that far. So one of my favorite websites is a website called Instant Domain Search. It's free to use. I don't know how they make money. It's very simple, but I think they try to sell you domain names. So let's pretend Frank's Cookies. Frank's Cookies is available. I can see it right here. All I do is I type Sugar Cookie Marketing. It is taken. You can see it's in red. I love this website so much. I have it bookmarked. It is one of my favorite websites. I can type in Sugar Cookie Marketing group. You can see that I own it as well. I can click view site. So let's click this. He's loading. Well, I'm not going to wait forever. I know that I own my own website, heathermiracle.com, but you can see as I start backspacing, it's still available. So every time heather.com, I do not own that. I wish I did. Every time it is parked, you can see it in red. It's just so fast to really see if you wanted like Cindy Cookie Co. Cindy Cookie Co. available. So I wouldn't purchase through here. It's gonna, I think it forwards me to GoDaddy. It's an affiliate link, but I really like this website as far as searching available names. I could just drop that in the comment section. Beep. Jody's at the gym and listening. Jody, I didn't go to the gym today. Work out extra hard for the two of us, okay? Because I'm not, but I should be because it is 2022 and I'm letting my little New Year's resolutions go by. So, okay, when you see us in the group, and I would love to encourage you guys to make like a Google sheet or a Word document that says my website host is, my domain registrar is, and have that information readily available, because whether you build your own website or whether you hire somebody else to build your website, you're going to need this information and you're not going to want to have to search for it every time. Your domain renews on average. If you don't purchase extra years, it's going to renew every year. If you lose that domain, if you do not pay that renewal fee, it goes to a marketplace. That's something a lot of people don't realize. They think that, oh, I'll just buy it again. No, it goes to a different place. It doesn't go back to where you thought it went, where you bought it. It goes back to a marketplace that says, hey, somebody liked this enough to buy it for a year, and then they forgot to pay the renewal fee. What happens is somebody's going to purchase that domain from the registrar for that $6, $12, and when you turn around to go back and buy it again, they're going to charge you hundreds of dollars to get it back. So I cannot stress enough to have not only a renewal payment on there, but also a backup. So what we do is primary payment is a company debit card, and then the backup payment is a PayPal account. Please do that. Yeah, so Frank brings up a great point. These big companies actually lose their domains because you just got to renew it. You have to renew your domain each year or forever, how long your interim is. And when you don't, somebody else buys it up, and then you pay a hostage situation to buy it back from them, which is crazy. Okay, scooching myself away again. What's a domain name versus URL? When somebody's like, okay, what's the URL? Or, hey, what's the domain name? So the domain name will be sugarcookiemarketing.com. That's it. It's the word and the extension .com. The next one will be the URL will be sugarcookiemarketing.com/live. If you wanted to sign up to teach a Facebook Live for the group, you'd be going to the URL HTTPS, which is a secure connection, www.sugarcookiemarketing.com/live. So, you know what? Sharita brings a great point. She said mine's on auto renew. And yes, Namecheap, GoDaddy, they want to take your money. So leaving it on auto renew, if you plan to create that website, is a great idea. So you don't have to worry about it. Just be attentive to the expiration date on their credit card, and then add that secondary payment method so you do not have to worry about it, even if the credit card expires, which is the number one reason why I see people lose their domains, is that the credit card expired. So then .com, .net, .go.org. So I'm going to pull up instant domain search again. Give me 2 seconds. Instant. Okay, so we have so many options when it comes to domain name extension. So I can do Sugar Cookie Marketing. I'm just going to leave it right there. You see it defaults to .com. I didn't post that. Because we're all, maybe some of you guys are younger than me. I think Frank's old as the hills. Frank, I'm just kidding. Baby. But we're used to the phrase the .com era. Not that it has any effect on like search engine optimization today, but .com is what, if you told a stranger like, hey, my website's Sugar Cookie Marketing, what are the odds they're going to type in .io? Very low. What are the odds they're going to type in .com? Much higher. So for that conversion aspect, I would recommend the .com. Frank said, is it possible to transfer the domain from one host to another? Frank said it's very easy. Your host gives up your IP address and you put the IP address in your registrar. Yes. It takes, if you just purchase that domain name, there's a 90-day waiting period. And there's reasons for that, because if you purchase a domain name, you actually have to give them your name and your physical address to by law, you have to give them an accurate address. Nobody sees it. They have these things called Who Is Protection now. Not included in GoDaddy, is free and Namecheap, so something to keep in mind. It is important to have that information up to date. Okay, so back to the extension. So when I say extension, I'm saying .com, I'm saying .us, .ai. Now these different extensions are different prices, but I would recommend, if you can, to always purchase a .com. If somebody already has a .com, you've gotten yourself into an SEO question. Is who is using the .com? Is it squatted on? Does that mean just somebody bought it and didn't do anything with it? Okay, then purchase a different extension. If the .com is being used, think about your grandmother. If I told my grandmother I'm sugarcookiemarketing.co, what are the odds she's going to end up on the .com and think I'm a different company? So I've purchased the .com, but I have also purchased the .co and the other extensions there. I did not purchase the .us. Eventually, you run out of, you can't buy all of these, right? So I really like the instant domain search because it gives you some other options here. This stuff on the far right's outrageous, so no thanks. Corrie, do you want to buy cookiemarketing.com for $2,000? Liz said HostGator gave me a 45-day notice before my domain name expired. And, oh, you guys are typing a little fast. And set up auto renew for me. So yeah, so your domain name provider, your registrar, wants your money. So they're going to be able they're going to want you to renew with them, which is great. I'm all about it. I don't want us to lose our domain names. I'm working with a client right now in the day job. And Corey says, touch on what it means for SEO. Okay. If we're going to talk SEO, which is a class in the Cookie College, I wasn't going to touch on it today because it's going to be a basic Corey. But in the class on SEO is if somebody has a .com, if I'm heathermiracle.co and there's a heathermiracle.com and she's active, this Heather Miracle is really active in building her web presence, I have to compete with her a lot just to not only be like, I'm Heather Miracle. I have to be like, I'm not even this Heather Miracle. I'm a different Heather Miracle. And that's a lot of competition, and that requires a lot of either time, effort, or money. So when we have competition, things get really expensive. So if there's a .com that's already parked, please do your research and see if it's already a cookie company that's dominating. Their website's dialed in, their Facebook's dialed in. If you're new, I'd almost encourage you to think of a different name. If you're brand new, if you're years old and you're just getting your websites, a little bit of a different strategy there. But if brand new, somebody has your domain name and they're killing it, sorry, Zuckerberg, if they're slaying it, then I would encourage you to either type into the group and tag me and Corey and just be like, hey, I wanted this, it's taken, they're doing a great job, what should I do next? My recommendation would be like, hey, do you have any other ideas that aren't parked yet? Not even parked, that aren't marketed. Okay, there you go. Corey said, you brought it in here. Do you want to buy that domain name? Yes. I see a yes, but I'm just going to take that as a yes for purchasing that domain name. Okay, moving along, guys, because I promised I wouldn't take this much time. But you know me. I'm trying to be slow. Okay, so we're going to purchase a domain name. I'm going to bring in an incognito tab because I already do have a Namecheap account. But yeah, if you were asking me right now what my recommendation is, from decent ease of use, extreme cost savings, and not Google, Namecheap. This is what we're looking at. This is what I recommend. It's 100%. Now, I maybe have one old domain on GoDaddy, and there's a reason I have it there. But the rest of everything, I even waited. I did the transfer period. I paid the fines to transfer. Namecheap is my boo bear and has been for, dare I say, we're 7 years at this point. I really like it. It's really highly used in the SEO field and online marketing field. So yeah, you're going to get my recommendation is Namecheap. So I'm in incognito tab, but I'm actually already signed in over here. We would do the same thing that we were doing. Again, I love going to instant domain searching here because it's so fast. So I do, let's just do Frank said. Give me a second to bring back my chat log. Corey says, oh, Miss Gonzalez said, I made it. And then Catherine said, what's a good website host for starting out? Catherine, if you buy your domain name today, that would be great. The website host for starting out would depend on how much time you had in your life. Uh, that's a good question. I would say that a lot of people use Square and Weebly. It's just probably not what I would use. Frank said, as soon as you're able to sign up, set up two-factor authentication. Again, so the reason why I'm pre-signed in here is because I have two-factor authentication set up on my account, which means I get a text every time I sign in, and I didn't want you guys to have to wait through that. But Frank is correct. People are constantly trying to steal your domain names because they know you want them. And anything valuable, a hacker online is here to grab from you. So we're going to just grab, or we're going to see Heather is the favorite twin. Oh, look, the .com is available. So I'm going to copy this over. We're going to go to Namecheap. I'm going to paste it in here, and we're going to search it. So this is my live presentation. Thank you, Frank. Perfect. And I'm going to add it. And I'm going to check out with you guys. Don't worry about stealing my credit card. I think it's truncated on here. If not, please forget it. So you see it's 816. Okay, hold on. I used the Honeycomb extension. I absolutely apply my discount codes. It really does work every time I use Namecheap. If this is your first domain, it always works. So thanks, Honey Extension. Oh man, I don't get any cheaper, but I bought many. So we have the domain registration is 1 year. Again, like I said, you can go up to 10 years. I'm a 1 year person. Auto renew, yeah, sure, why not? I got it on sale from $13 to $7.98. I think the first time you might be able to get a little cheaper. Domain name privacy is free on Namecheap. It's not free on GoDaddy. That's why I like this. And just forget about all this stuff right here. Do not worry about it. It is not your battle to fight today. You can add it later. So I'm going to confirm my order. Park myself here in the middle. So we have that, and I'm going to click pay now. Whew, it's been parked. Saved today, and we have it going out. Again, my account is set up. Just go to namecheap.com, run through the process. It's going to ask you your address. That is standard. You'll have to give your address if you purchase a domain name. So give them the correct address. It is not published, especially it's not published when who is protection is included, which I can guarantee on Namecheap. I cannot guarantee anywhere else. There you go. I'm done. So we're going to go back to Namecheap. I'm actually going to go back to my PowerPoint. That's so pretty. And then Nicole said, Heather, thank you. And Frank, I just transferred my name. So why would Nicole transfer her domain name? You can do that because I transferred my domain names from GoDaddy to Namecheap. I just want to have them all in one house. I like the renewal price of Namecheap. I don't like the support system with GoDaddy. You just have to follow the prompts. Each one of these registrars can help you with it if you go through the support. So if you're transferring to Namecheap from GoDaddy, don't ask GoDaddy, ask Namecheap because they have money in and out. GoDaddy's losing money from you, and they'll tell you the 10 reasons why you shouldn't. If you're transferring from Namecheap to Google, ask Google support system if they can help you. But otherwise, there's always a tutorial to walk you through how to do it. It's not that complex if you just follow along. Okay. Hold on. I had one person ask me to do one thing real quick that I was supposed to do, so I'm going to bring up my Namecheap account one more time. Yeah. No, this is my other tab. Give me 2 seconds to find the correct tab. This is it. This is my incognito tab. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to go back to my account, and I'm going to go to my domains list, of which I have too many domains. We all have our addictions. This is mine. So that was what we purchased. Heather is a favorite twin. It is now in my domain. So I don't remember which one of you asked, but I'm just going to show you what the DNS record is. This is not basic anymore. This is intermediate, but we talked about it. So we have our front door, but it's connected to no house, right? So we're going to connect this front door to the house, and I'm going to do it very simply. So right now you have Heather's a favorite twin is a non-WW that forwards to W. Awesome. Leave this here, but I'm going to add one more redirect right here, and I'm going to say take this one and have this one forward to. We'll just do this for the example right now. Give me a second. So what we're gonna say is what I've basically told this domain. Dink. Come on, bud. What we're basically telling this domain is, hey, take this. Oh, I gotta set this up in a different way. Okay, let's do HTTP. Excuse me. And we're gonna have it forward to that one. Let's trash this guy. Okay. So we're going to say, if somebody types in this, go to this. What is wrong with you? Okay. Okay. Excuse me, kids. Let's just do this. I should have practiced this. Okay, so what we said is when somebody types in Heather is a favorite twin, is the favorite twin, have them redirect to the Facebook group. I'm going to do it one more time because we have two different types of websites here. We have the non-www and the www version. Okay, that's two different versions. Don't worry about it. What I've just said is, hey, take this front door we've just purchased, Heather is the favorite twin, and stick it to Facebook. Is this going to work? Sometimes it takes up to 24 hours, but let's just try it. This is wild, just doing it all. I usually do this in the privacy of myself. Great, it works. So we put our front door, Heather is a favorite twin.com / Sugar Cookie Marketing Group. So you know you're the favorite twin. You go type in Corrie's favorite twin.com, it goes nowhere. Kaylin says my desktop is amazing. Let me show you, Kaylin. This is my desktop. Thank you so much. I really do enjoy it. So it's how I keep everything organized. I can give you guys this background if you'd like. Let me switch this back over one more time, and then we're going to wrap this up. I promised I wasn't going to take a lot of time. 2 seconds. From current slide, and then switch these back over. Heather, slow down. There you go. This is my New Year's word. Bring back Loom. Switch the screen. Okay. So I wanted to go back through what the Cookie College is, and then I'll let you go. If you guys have in the description of this live, there's a live coming up at 7, which is so cute. She is 15. She runs an allergy-friendly bakery at 15. She cannot be on Facebook because her mom says she's too young, so we tag her mom and everything, but she's doing a live at 7. Want to make sure that the room is cleared for that. But let's talk about the Cookie College. Okay, there you go. I look just like Corrie, right? The Cookie College is where I can teach more of this class. So, you know, I just touched on DNS. Okay, and I brushed over it so fast, there's like hardly any way that anybody could have paid attention to that. But in the Cookie College, I can sit you down and we can go step by step through DNS records to connect the DNS records to your website, whether it be Square or whether it be what I use is WordPress, or whether it be Cast Iron, who doesn't accept custom domains, we can still force a door on it. The same way I can force a door on Facebook. So I just wanted to cover a little bit about what it is. So we have 40 plus courses, and I use plus because every month I add about 3 technical courses. Corrie adds a lot of freebies. So everything is constantly growing, and it gets added into the membership that's hosted, website host, on a website called Podia. Kim said, how do you connect your DNS to your website provider? So Kim, great question. It depends on your website host. Website host, again, that keyword. They're going to tell you whether they use 2 different options, CNAME and A records, my preferred one, or name servers. Depending on what your host tells you to do, you're going to follow a different set of rules, but it's going to fall within name servers or DNS records. If you change your name servers, your DNS records will no longer live at your domain registrar. They'll now live at your website host. Something to keep in mind. We always say that people, Corrie said she's going to sign up for the college. Thanks, Corrie. It's almost like you teach it. But Kim, yeah, so if you're going through Square, I know what I use in WordPress. I use WordPress Engine. They use CNAME and A record, but I also use something called WPX hosting, which uses name servers. Cheaper. It's easier for them, harder for me. So I prefer DNS record updates, but I do cover that in the college, but I can help you through that if you post it in the group. Moving right along. What is Corrie saying? Corrie said, sounds like a cool Dean you got running. I don't know. I know you meant deal, but because you're being mean to me, I'm just going to say that you wrote Dean, and we're going to leave that twin too. So let's talk about freebies. So this is 3 examples, Corrie, if you want to weigh in the comments, Dean, of what Corrie gave to us. What is this first thing? I know so here's the concept behind why she's giving these free things is what she said is a lot of people have to spend a lot of money just to shop around product. even if they're not sure they're going to sell. So what she said is I can give them the shop around. So you get these photos, like these 3 photos right here are 3 things she's given to the Cookie College. This funny meme photo that performs really well. I think this is Miss Cookie packaging with these like right on conversation hearts. Corrie, tell me more about. I like how your live bubble is covering Corrie's face. Thank you, Heather, for noticing that intentional move that I made. And then free use DIY kits. So jumping back in here, but beyond their distractions, is so you could essentially say like, hey clients, I'm selling my DIY kits, but you didn't do anything. Corrie bought the kit, she assembled the kit, she bought the cutters, she staged the photo, and then you can shop it around in what essentially is a secret pre-sale. So then you can turn around and say, okay, I've sold 10 of these. I'm ready to charge them. And then Corrie gives you, here's where I got this cutter. Here's where I got this box. Here's where I got this thread. Here's where I got this edible pen. Here's where I got the sprinkles. So there's a lot of really nice options there for being truly lazy. If you want to be lazy, I'm lazy. Let Corrie do the work for all of us. That is one. So the freebies people really like. I really appreciate the freebies. All right, Tismar, I'm signing up as we're done. When my husband asks, I'm blaming you. I would say you should blame a man named Dean that Corrie apparently has brought into the Cookie College. I do say that a lot of people are really enjoying it. I guess a lot of people are sticking around. That's what I can say is that people sign up and they stick around longer than I even expect them to. The digital downloads, whoop. Excuse Corrie. Okay. I built out these digital downloads and I have the example right here to show to you. But I said, Corrie, I really need a picture of an apple, and she did not reply to me in time. So the digital downloads are these cute squares. I can't click on, I'm not signed in, I'm in an incognito tab, but these squares we give you 12 each month. Because January and February 14th is so weird, we actually get doubled that, so you get 24 this month, where it started with New Year, new cookies, went through kind of a winter theme, and then warmed up to Valentine's Day. The other set starts here, a full Valentine's Day set, you get that, and then it ends here, and then I threw in these booked calendar graphics. So the digital downloads are always included in the Cookie College. So we do have, you could just purchase the digital downloads, which is absolutely fine. If you sign up for the digital downloads, you get everything we've ever sold in the digital downloads. I think we started in November, so you get maybe even September, November, December, January, and February. So if you sign up today, you can download all that stuff and then cancel at the end of the month. But if you sign up for the Cookie College, you get that included in your membership. So a little bit of a bonus there. Moving right along, here is, my face is in the way, the Cookie College courses. So I'm proud of these. They're a little technical. They're a little bit technical. Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes work is technical. So what I want to show you is my access as an end user. So I've created myself an account. This is what I see as anybody who signs up. You have all of these courses and they keep going and they keep going, and we've numbered them. Business management, DIY kits for Halloween. Corrie gave you everything. So she breaks down what she gives you as we click along here. Best times to sell DIY kits, what's included in her DIY kits, pricing for DIY kits, how to promote. And then we do the emails I send for people to remind them they need to pick them up. And with this email campaign, it includes some texts. We had 100% pickup rate. I'm just saying 100% of people picked up their kit with this very simple email drip campaign that I tested. So you get that download. It's a Word doc. So you just click download file as we go along. We gave our clients a PowerPoint. So you get that PowerPoint too, and you can send it to your clients. I do not care. You can edit it yourself. A lot of people have. One class that a lot of people like, Instagram for Business, staging back to school. That was a Facebook Live. We did a product review on Eddie, setting up Google Analytics, but the classes. So right now we have in-person classes, excuse me, but we're adding a virtual class how-to. So you can see, like, here's the large trays that we purchased from Webstron store. It's all included in this. So it's my email drip campaign that I send to the people who take our classes. But one thing I really liked is, oh yeah, we filmed a class, which is crazy. I even told the attendees, let's see what it looks like. So you can see it is an hour and a half class. I shortened it down to about 45 minutes with fast forwarding and stuff like that. But you can see my one-liner jokes are really, really solid. I'll be honest. We have some great jokes. But that's a little bit of a taste test of what the college is and what we keep adding to it. Right. Okay, going right along here. I'm very proud of the. Okay, now one disclaimer about the courses is a little bit more technical. We're talking about SEO. We're talking about Instagram. We're talking about naming your business, that one I like, and then you got a digital download. It is a little bit of work, and people are overwhelmed. Yes, it's 40 plus courses, and we keep adding more. The goal is to find out where you want to be and where you want to go, and that may be 10 classes and that may be 20 classes, but it doesn't have to be all the classes, right? Just find out where you want to be at this time next month, and then take those classes. You don't have to take everything. Don't worry about it. Even if you can only afford the Cookie College for a month, drop out for 2 months and come back again, you're among friends. We have quite a few people who do that, and I respect it. So don't worry about like just jumping in for a month, taking all the classes that you can, breather, implement, test, and then come back and take whatever classes have been added since then. You'll get everything that we've ever made, minus stuff that's just expired. So you're never going to lose out from dropping in and out like that. Let me check my Facebook comments because I'm running over time. Heather's making me do work on my business. Yes, I'm annoying, and I am making people do work on their business, but at the end you're going to be like, how did I live my life before this work? That's my goal, right? Is to make you feel bad about yourself. I'm just kidding. Not at all. So if you want to sign up for the Cookie College, I'm not a hard sell like Corrie in the podcast this week. You can go to www.thecookiecollege.com, which is our domain name. Tying it back in. So I'm just going to go through real quick through your questions. I know I'm like 10 minutes over. I think I covered a lot of them. Corrie says, Heather, you are the favorite. Wild, but I guess we all got to come to that realization. Kim, again, the DNS is connected depending on your host. Your host is going to tell you if they want name servers or DNS. If it's not through DNS, definitely go check name servers. We don't want to do that another way. My snake needs to be fed, and he's super hungry, and he's right behind the camera. That's why I keep looking beyond you guys. I'm feeding you as soon as I end this. Amanda says, I'm just starting my business. As soon as I make enough to start covering my tuition, I'm in. Awesome, Amanda. We're ready for you. There's going to be more than 40 courses when you get there. Again, don't feel overwhelmed. Just take what you need, what your goals are. We're starting accountability pods this month. I don't know if anybody's ready for it, but I am. Corrie says the private group is where we can. Oh yeah, let me just do a quick preview of the group. The Cookie College. Okay, so this is the private group. So when you get that membership, you get this group is where Corrie is posting a lot of the stuff. But what we didn't expect is that other members would be giving each other so much, which is crazy. Okay, this is fun. This is the engagement pod. So every Thursday, there's an engagement pod where everyone kind of helps each other engage with Facebook comments. So this is, Katrina, she signed up last month, and now she's been getting up. Corrie turned off the post because it's the end of Thursday. But you can see right here is all these people are just cashing in on engagement with each other. Why don't we do this in the main group? It's too hard to manage with 30,000 people, but with 400 and change, it's a lot easier. Let me scroll on a bit to see what else we got. Goodness, a lot of people engaging today. We have Corrie posted something in the main page and made me think, how many of us have Valentine's Day samples that need to be done? They're challenging each other to get on it. I appreciate that. Corrie and I both do Facebook Lives in the group, sometimes taking each other through courses. Corey's doing this Facebook Live where you can ask her about cookie classes. Mike knows that if he asks, we'll give him. He was asking for how to solicit businesses to use their space. So we're going to work on the copy for that together. Scrolling down, the pod. Yeah, the pod's on Thursdays. And just like more advanced things that kind of fall flat in the main group is like, hey, you guys who use Zoom for virtual cookie classes, they've offered this new feature that I really liked. And then wins. And then Corrie, just these kind of things like, hey, there's something called a power, like keep your eye out for it. I know that Laura joined. She said, Heather, my digital life has been literally never more organized. I'm loving these courses. Laura, I'll pay you for that comment later. But guys, that wraps us up through it. Heather says the pod is awesome. I didn't even know it was a thing until I joined the college. Yeah, the pod we keep in the college just because it's easier to organize. Corrie keeps that pretty regimented. Jody said I forgot the pot is today. Don't worry, Jody. They do it every Thursday when there's not a holiday. Uh, Rand said, hi all. She just joined the college and it's just been hitting the ground running, which is pretty awesome. Okay, if I see no more questions, I'm going to let you go so you can get ready for the next live, which I linked in the comments below. Please go support her. She's 15. I love the younger generation. And she's telling us about allergy friendliness, which is great. I think a lot of us have a lot of questions on that. So, you beautiful humans, I'm letting you go. Thank you so much. But yeah, if you do one thing tonight, sign up for the Cookie College. I'm just kidding. Purchase your domain name. I would really like you guys to have your domain names, even if you're not ready to do anything yet or in 6 months, just have it. It's $6. You know, it's a Starbucks coffee. I don't even drink Starbucks. I drink Diet Coke exclusively. But Corrie said, great live, twin. Thanks, Corrie. Let me put my face over yours. Okay, guys, thank you so much. If you have any questions, at me in the group. Corrie's operating under Corrie Mira currently. So if you want to get her attention, that profile until she goes back into prison again, I'm sure, for calling people a gardening tool. But thank you so much for attending, and I'll see you.